I've kept the promise. Timely. You can load in.
Brought to you by MOMWELL CARE KIT. Wrestling one mommy at a time. You should get yours today.
So I know you heard the story.
Did I?
We have a 50-year-old male, white, Universal Healthcare CEO, murdered, or should I say assassinated,
Yeah.
from what it looks like. Yeah, this is a story that's unfolding, and it's like a movie.
It is
So it's literally like a Netflix movie of what I'm seeing is happening.
the murder of CEO Brian Thompson. I mean, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But at the same time, look at where we're at in the world. You know, you got a guy. It's 6:30 in the morning or so in New York, outside a hotel. Brian is walking. This guy is laying late. Who was a white male, the suspect, and he goes ahead and he pulls a handgun.
Yeah.
What is crazy, a handgun has a silencer on it.
I know, but what were you saying? You know about guns. Using a silencer is not easy to get.
A silencer is not the easiest thing to get. You know, I mean, if silencers were easy to get, I think everybody would actually have them. At the end of the day, I mean, who wants to be hanging?
But that's very movie-esque.
That's very movie-esque. It's very movie. I mean, and when you see the picture, you see, I think he puts both hands, I believe he puts on the gun, and he points it, right at the back.
Action movie.
An action movie. Just like an action movie.
Crazy.
And from my understanding, he shot him in the leg,
Yeah.
and then there was a kill shot.
Yeah, I didn't know that he shot him in the leg first and then there was a kill shot.
Yeah, I heard some reports I didn't hear that, and some reports I did hear that, and I started hearing more and more reports that did say he was shot in the leg. And what I found interesting is that I don't know what was going through the suspect's mind, but I'm assuming he wanted to get him down on one knee.
He wanted to make him suffer.
That part was symbolic too.
I think that part was symbolic.
If he was shot in the leg, I'm sure that put him to the ground.
You don't think he was just shot so that he'd slow him down so you could then?
No, I mean, when you watch the video, he was walking. I mean, at a steady little, walking pace early in the morning, and this guy casually comes up behind him, and I'm just thinking he just really wanted this guy to suffer. And I think I'm right in that type of thinking, only because we find out later the bullet that was in his head had words engraved on it.
Yeah.
And you have what the words were?
Well,
Only deny, defend, depose.
yeah.
I think was the 3 words you had on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard depose and I've heard delay. I defend delay, which I think depose and delay are about the same thing.
Well, anybody heard us in the comments say no, he ain't.
Claims, you defend against the claim and you tie it up in court. Oh, and there's a famous book that this is. Yeah, but there's several books based on the horrific stories of the United States health insurance industry, which really, I mean, other countries are not dealing with this. They don't have other countries don't have the term medical bankruptcy.
What medical bankruptcy?
Only country in the world that has that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you would think that's a country like ours, with the best military and, infrastructure to some degree, you would think you would have took advantage of with tech and everything and gotten ahead, in the healthcare industry, but we just a result. Yeah, keep
It's against the healthcare industry now because now they're having AI do the denial.
I read about that.
I mean, to be denied on an algorithm
Wow.
is just absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, what are we, just pixels now or something? I mean, what's going on?
What's happening is now the insurance companies are now in this position and they're becoming the doctors. They're the ones that are seeing what medications you can have. Doctors are actually setting up departments to go after their money because they're not getting paid.
Doctors are not getting.
The doctors are not getting paid because look, a doctor does it. I heard about a doctor doing a surgery, a 4-year-old girl, and he wanted to do the surgery. I'm thinking that the insurance company will pay.
You're going to take care of it.
And the insurance company didn't pay, so then he had to go after the money. The doctor has to go after the patient.
That's crazy at the end of the day. So you say doctors like, which means basically third-party applications for people that need post-op certain things, prosthetics,
Yeah.
people that need certain
Very-
aftercare medicines or aftercare room packages or whatever have you, and a myriad of other things that people need after surgery or
Things-
after hospital stays.
The craziest thing to me is to not deny someone anesthesia. Okay, because they can't pay for it. I mean, that's
So what are they supposed to deal? We're supposed to deal with the pain of anesthesia?
there's so many other.
I mean, the pain after anesthesia wears off. I mean, how does that work?
I don't.
You're gonna eat a refill of your anesthesia, you pay up now, or you're just gonna feel the pain?
You're gonna feel the pain.
What kind of world are we coming to that we are desensitized from that of other people's pains
Well,
that people go through?
speaking of desensitized, okay, an announcement on Facebook page of the UnitedHealthcare announcing Thompson's death had 42,000 laugh emoji reactions by Thursday afternoon.
Oh my goodness.
Others shared personal stories about how the health insurance industry had denied coverage to their loved ones or laden them with debt. Now, listen, I don't want to see anybody murdered.
Right, exactly. But at the same time,
And-
how do you feel? Do you feel that's kind of inhumane what they did, having 42,000 laughing emojis at someone's death?
Yes, I do.
You're so because you have a heart, you care.
Because I have a heart, and I don't think the heart should go. You should be biased just because. Look, this man was at an investors meeting when he got gunned down. Not
On his way, yeah.
on his way. I'm not, completely clear, but I know he was in the midst of that. And I even heard, what did you say, honey? That he.
They actually had stopped the event that he was supposed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Based off that they heard he was shot, but then they went ahead and still did the event later on.
Yeah.
And it was said on social media that they had posted his job on Indeed.com, right? Not the same day.
Oh my God.
That he like he is cattle, like he was just discarded at the end of the day. We just need to fill this job immediately, quickly,
Well, maybe it was that response because he was involved in a world where that is the mindset. The mindset is money. If you drop dead, great. I got to get my money.
Right.
So that's maybe he got that.
So he got a little taste of what some of these other people feel.
I think always how it works in life and death. Oftentimes,
Well,
kill us by the sword.
Living that by the sword. Now,
Yeah.
I take this story to heart, with Brian Thompson. And the reason why I take this story to heart because I've been denied medical coverage, as you know, honey, babe. I've been denied a number of times. I've had a history of blood clots.
Yeah.
I always talk about I have had about 7 or 8 surgeries. You've been there.
And the times that you've lapped in coverage, I mean, we've been at pretty horrific hospitals in LA.
right. The service wasn't that great.
This wasn't as good.
I'm not gonna name no hospitals, but the service was not that great.
It was another hospital we probably could have filed a lawsuit against that they actually did surgery on the wrong leg
Did you?
for you.
They did. They made some errors that they should not have made, and they actually told me I would never walk again.
Yeah.
And I remember that it took me about 4.5 months, 5 months before I was able to start walking again because I was determined to walk again. I wasn't going to hear that I wasn't able to walk again. Now look at me now, I'm walking. But the doctors came in and they told me
Yeah.
I would actually most likely never walk again at the time.
I remember
And they said if it's
walking.
I'm walking, I'm jogging. I'm not running. I'm not a sprinter. I'm not Carl Lewis. I'm not an Olympic medalist of running or anything like that. But
I want to stand. How much of them telling you that had to do with maybe trying to up the criteria of the situation so that they could get paid more? I mean, they in surgery on the wrong leg, so they have to charge for that. Then to go back and to get the leg.
Right. And you kind of find out. I know people at home are going to say, "Well, you're going to sue. That's a malpractice suit." Look at the law a little better when it comes to malpractice suits, and look at the fine paperwork you fill out. And these days, when you go before you go into surgery,
Yeah.
read the paperwork. So a lot of times you cannot sue them. You'll be very, very surprised. It's not that easy to say malpractice like that, but it's a toll when people are denied benefits, healthcare.
People are dying. People are dying. I know that 76,000 people died because they were denied a claim and had to suffer with a condition that they had. 76,000.
76 dead.
How many people around the world have died because they haven't had health insurance?
No, not
Zero.
Where else in the world have people died because they didn't have health insurance? In America, 76,000 people have.
So you basically saying our health insurance is a murderer? Is it just to some degree?
It is.
Wow.
I want to read you a quote of somebody, how this is affecting people who are not getting what they need. This one man wrote as a response to Brian Thompson, passing. His company put multiple of my family members in debt. They will be paying for the rest of their lives and denied care for my uncle, which led to his death. Brian Thompson killed people, full stop. Well, one person. Another person wrote, remembering the day UnitedHealthcare denied a one-night hospital stay for my 12-year-old child as medically unnecessary, following ASD heart repair surgery. I mean, the comments like that.
I mean, you guys,
Go on.
it's
annoying.
I feel for them. I don't really believe in taking a life for a life, but I sympathize with them completely. Be the fact that, we almost lost our property one time. I mean, financially, we were almost financially ruined by that of dealing with insurance and not being covered. The price I paid for medications, you remember?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I paid cash
We actually ended
at
up
first.
moving to Mexico.
For a minute, yeah, we did. We had to move in Mexico based on my condition, just to have be able to afford cheaper medication.
Yeah.
That's a true story. That's what we actually did, you and I. And I thank you for doing that. I thank you for that. I love you for that.
Well,
Oh,
you have to do.
well, you took care of me. You really did.
It's so sad when you see these companies. UnitedHealthcare had a 32% percentage of
Denial.
denial.
Wow.
They were denied.
32%. That's almost, yeah, 1 out of 3 claims almost.
Yeah.
And those numbers are probably fudged as well. It's probably higher than that. But 1 in 3,
Do you think?
these are lives. These are human beings. These are people that have bought into it. 1 in 3.
Do you think that this death will make a difference in what with these insurance policies are? I mean, do you think the death will make it? I heard one company had made some better policies on their anesthesiology and things like that. But then again, people don't want to be punked into making better policies.
No, we don't want to be punked into making better policies, but I think what is evolving that we're seeing with social media and we're seeing what has happened in current events, I think the human mind and the human spirit is evolving together as one, and it's becoming stronger and stronger to the point where people are like, well, they're not going to take it no more.
No, they're not.
They're just not going to take it no more. They've hit their limits. I think there's a limit that humans can handle things up to a certain point.
Well, people are yelling to the government. Okay, they have. UnitedHealthcare itself has faced scrutiny over denying claims to its customers. A Senate committee concluded earlier this year that 3 major companies, UnitedHealthcare, Humana, and CVS, which owns Aetna, were intentionally denying claims for nursing care to patients to increase profits. The company was also accused in a lawsuit of using faulty AI algorithm to deny elderly patients extended care. So what I'm seeing here is people are going to the government. People are rambling and everything. The problem is it's just so much money being made.
And everybody wants a piece of it.
30%, I believe, I heard in one report was $11 billion that they got to keep with people's money.
11 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, what makes them want to stop that?
And I find it interesting they would do it to the elderly too.
Well, I think what they think is the elderly are on the way out, and since they, who can they complain to? Well, who's going to be their leader at the end of the day? I mean, there's no elderly big activists that I personally know about, So, yeah, it's foul, man. It's not cool.
How do you feel? Get this untangled. Solve the world, Daddy.
No. This one right here. This one we're gonna watch it unfold in real time. I mean, this guy went and killed this guy, assassinate this man in broad daylight. in the early morning, and early morning light.
Yeah.
And he left clues behind. I think he rode a bike to get away. He stopped at a Starbucks. He went to Central Park. He dropped off for a book bag. He grew a book bag. He had
He looked funded.
well, I mean,
Self-funded.
he could have. You know what? When you look at this is what I heard. I've heard things that it's conspiracy. There's a big organization behind it. But then at the same time, when you really think about it, you could take a man to a breaking point.
Yes.
You could take a woman to a breaking point. Well, they might go ahead and mastermind, do this just by themselves.
Speaking of breaking points, let me read you this.
Okay.
Currently, over 1,000 people go bankrupt daily solely due to personal medical bills. Anyone who can make millions of dollars overseeing a system like this and sleep well at night doesn't deserve any sympathy. This is Beau Ford, a former Green Party candidate for Congress in New Jersey, who ran on a platform calling for universal health care. This is what he told The Independent. So that means currently over 1,000 people a day go bankrupt because of their medical bills. And this is solely in America.
Oh, sorry, in America. It's like we sucking our own people dry. We're supposed to be a patriotic country, and we're sucking our own people dry. What's gonna be left out of this? I mean, I just think the whole thing needs to be revamped. The whole healthcare system has to be revamped, and it has to be something that's clear, that's common sense clear. At the end of the day, if you must so treat your fellow brother and sister that way, your fellow American, that's just not the way to go.
Some people just have that mindset of the money, though, and it really is. It's just us against them. They'll never.
That's why it has to be. I mean, it has to be rebuilt,
Yeah.
restructured. And you have some people in the world, like the black guy that assassinated this guy. I mean, his world, he might call it restructuring. What we call assassination.
Yeah.
He's probably calling restructuring at the end.
A lot of things have been restructured through assassination, especially in America. That's definitely.
It's a tactic. It's a tactic. I don't agree it's a tactic, but it's a tactic. Yeah,
That's the way to change the course of things.
exactly. So we'll see how this unfolds. I'm not.
Let me ask you something. Do you think the guy will get caught?
That's a good question.
Do you want him to get caught? That's a loaded question, probably.
No. All right, I'll tell you why I don't want him to get caught. And this is when I go back to the stories a couple of people you wrote about their lives and what they've been through and victims of what happened. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that happened to him, but I don't want the suspect to get caught. And the reason why is I don't want the story to end until it ends right.
Wow.
Until it ends properly. To this day, I don't have, as you know, I got my right leg. I got 3/4 of feeling on my leg. It's a big part of my actual leg. I don't have any feeling, and that should not be the case. And that's due to the denying.
Yeah.
The healthcare. I have nerve damage.
People are actually turned away if they don't even have insurance. Quickly, I just want to say this. I had a cousin, I've mentioned this before, who went into the Las Vegas hospital. I won't which one. So I was about to cut at her foot. It was infected. They told her, she didn't have insurance. They told her go home. Came back again. Oh, you'll be okay. Put that back in it. Next time she comes in, they're talking about taking part of her leg off. So, I mean, this is really, and then
They were talking about it.
they were talking about it, and they did.
And they actually did it. And first it was a matter of fact conversation. After a little sedation, and then she woke up.
So there's,
She was surprised her leg was not there, if I remember correctly.
and now
That was horrible. It's all over story.
Now, in that position, we got to wonder, will an insurance company approve a prosthetic leg for her?
Right.
I mean,
That's what we have for now.
all her entire life has been,
She's a school teacher.
yeah.
My wife's cousin is a good friend of mine. She's a school teacher.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing school teacher. And now she can't even do her job. And now she's bedridden.
Yeah.
And she's in a wheelchair with one leg that did not have to be taken off, all because of a cut that was not treated at the time when it was supposed to be treated. And I believe, how many times did she go by that Las Vegas hospital?
She went twice. This was
Twice. And
by the third time.
by the third time,
Yeah.
They cut it off because now they're looking at it as if, did you see anybody? Why is it this way?
Goes through their head.
but that's what she told us, as if she neglected.
Yes,
Anyway,
it turns on you.
Which makes you tell you maybe there was money in it. Wasn't money in it for the cut or for the damage that was done to her leg. Or maybe there was more money in the amputation.
Yes.
maybe there was more money in the amputation. Why did I sure?
Your condition, though, honey, I was like, there is more money off. But they made such a big flare up, like, we're going to have to take his whole leg.
What?
Said the same thing to you.
Yeah.
And that was not necessary. What did I say? I bet that is a load of money to be charging to people.
Well, I'm still spending money with the insurance companies. I'm still in the same condition I'm in.
I'm like,
You know, so they still making money off me hand over foot every day.
Yep.
You know, so
we
these are
people of many, really all over the United States who have had personal problems, who have had a family member or heard of a story from a friend. I mean, this is something that touches everybody's lives, and there are a lot of people personally.
absolutely. I mean, we all know somebody. Well, more or less, most people know somebody that might be sick or disabled or mentally challenged, or or going through something where they need insurance, and it's hard mentally to.
Insurance, though, I think insurance should be knocked out altogether.
Well, that's certain.
Be some kind of new system. Other countries do not have health insurance.
Well, they have programs. They have government state funded programs that work better. The question is, why haven't we fully adopted some of those systems? Why haven't we fully came close to adopting the
But it's only denying. Somebody who name you and paying you, and you say, no, I'm not going to give it back.
I mean, to deny like that is, to me, is somewhat unpatriotic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what UnitedHealthcare was doing, I don't agree with anything about at all. No, you mentioned Humana, you mentioned them, you mentioned another one.
Another one that was charged.
That's great. I'm sure there's others out there as well. I just know there's a lot of sick, disabled people out there that really need healthcare.
Yeah.
And they need to be taken care of, and good people.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And these are people, I just want to say, that are not looking for a handout.
Yeah.
They're not. These are proud people. Things happen in life.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody's story is a little bit different, but I'd be darned if these people are trying to scam the insurance company. That's not what's going on. This is an insurance company that's scamming the people, and it got too far. Shit hit the fan. It got too far. It went too far where a man is, whether he's by an organization or whether he's a lone gunman himself, wanted to take the time out, took the job, or made it his initiative to go out and murder this man to make a statement. Now, the question, health insurance companies, what are you guys going to do?
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do at the end of the day? Are we going to keep doing the same thing over and over? Or are we going to change the system and you're going to listen to the people?
Well, I hope they listen to the people.
I hope they listen to the people.
We can all live well.
Yeah, so we don't have no more Brian Thompson situations happen out there like that, so it's a dog-eat-dog world right now, and we're being looked at. We're being judged at the end of the day. This is more Charles Thetford, Trina McGee.
Hello.
Live well.
Live well.
Back soon.